Expectation is a prophecy. Believe and you create. Doubt and you destroy. An unknown author once said that, and it holds a hidden truth about a strange force you overlook every day. You barely notice how it works because it's woven into the fabric of your reality. Silent, invisible, and incredibly powerful. Every person you interact with, yourself included, is affected by it. This isn't magic. It's psychology, ancient and modern at once. Today, let's talk about what's known as the Pygmalion Effect. What does that even mean? The name comes from a Greek myth. Pygmalion was a sculptor who carved a statue of a woman so beautiful, he fell in love with it. And his love, his belief in her reality, his expectations, brought her to life. His faith awakened something dormant. She became real, not because of marble, but because of belief. Here's where it gets fascinating. That myth isn't just a poetic story. It became a symbol of how our expectations shape reality. And that's not just metaphor. It's a real psychological phenomenon, backed by serious research. When we believe in someone, we can trigger real changes in them, sometimes extraordinary ones. It's not superstition. It's the hidden engine behind progress and transformation. Now imagine you're working with someone. You're a parent, a teacher, a friend, a leader, and you truly expect this person to do great things, not just because it sounds good, but because you actually believe it in your core. You see them as capable, intelligent, insightful. What happens then? They begin to change. They begin to rise. Consciously or unconsciously, they respond to your belief. It plants a seed. Here's the key. People become who we see them as. They feel it in our voice, our gaze, our tone, our reactions. And something inside them whispers, "What if it's true?" That's the Pygmalion Effect in motion. It's not just an idea. It's a mechanism, silently sculpting people into what we expect them to be. In 1968, psychologists Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson ran an experiment in a US school. They randomly selected a group of ordinary students, told teachers they were gifted, and watched what happened. A year later, those students showed remarkable academic gains. Why? Because the teachers expected more from them. That invisible belief shaped their behavior. Subtle changes in how they taught had a massive impact, like adjusting sunlight on a plant. In another study, researchers told students their lab rats were smart. Now turn that mirror on yourself. How you see yourself is shaping your life. Your inner beliefs, spoken or silent, carry more weight than your surroundings. If you keep thinking, "I'm not enough," the world reflects that belief. You become the sculptor, not of your potential, but of your limits. You etch your own boundaries into your daily experience. Let's be honest. You could be stronger, deeper, more confident. But part of you doesn't believe that's possible. You feed your doubts and become the proof of your own fears. You've probably said, "See, I failed again. I knew I would." But you didn't know. You created it. You expected to lose. That's the dark side of the Pygmalion Effect. Its shadow twin, the golem effect. When negative expectations lower performance, they become invisible chains. A teacher who sees a child as slow makes them slower. A parent who believes a child is helpless creates helplessness. A boss who doubts an employee breeds incompetence. But you don't have to be the golem. You can be the sculptor, the creator, the one who chisels belief into existence. Ask yourself, who are you underestimating? Who needs belief more than advice? Maybe it's your partner, your friend, your child, or maybe it's you. What if you treated yourself as someone capable of far more, even if nothing proves it yet, even if everything says no? What if you were the first to believe? Not blindly, but with respect, with trust in your own growth, with faith that potential is a muscle. It only grows when it's challenged, when it's pushed, when it's respected enough to be stretched. So here are some truths you can hold on to. You want change? You want more? You want to meet a different version of yourself? Then stop waiting for the world to convince you. Be the one who convinces yourself with your gaze, your tone, your expectations. Be your own believer, your own ally, your own spark. Remember this: the world shapes us, but we shape the world through how we think. So stop sculpting yourself into something small. You weren't made for that. Your role isn't to perform. It's to believe in the life you're meant to live, to author it, to awaken it. Like Pygmalion, who didn't see a statue, he saw a soul. You're not a fixed form. You're a becoming. You are clay and fire and spirit. Every time you say, "I can," you move closer to truth. Because the truth isn't who you've been, it's who you decide to become. The Pygmalion Effect isn't a trick, it's power. It lives in you, in everyone. But it only works when you choose to believe. When you see through your own eyes and say, "Yes, this is possible." So here's the final question. What do you say